Hello, friends. Happy Monday. Anyone else having a hard time on Monday? I struggled all day to get going. I just couldn't get my brain to kick in the way I needed it to. So it's funny, I'm on here talking about brain stuff because, So I wanted to hop on because I talk about this all the time with people that I work with my clients. And I feel like I'm seeing it all over the place with people. It's the idea of cognitive dissonance. Don't let the word scare you. It's just a big therapy word for something doesn't feel right based on your belief system. And so I'm going to read a definition of it and then I'll come back and talk about it. Sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence that works against the belief, the new evidence cannot be accepted. It would create a feeling that is extremely uncomfortable called cognitive dissonance. And because it's so important to protect the core belief, they will rationalize, ignore, and even deny anything that doesn't fit in with that belief. So I feel like this is just going on all over the place with people. Because our minds, our bodies are the same way, but our minds love balance. And that's why I get on and talk about right brain, left brain stuff and how to balance things out. Because our brains crave what they call homeostasis. They want things to be the same. They want smooth and easy. They don't want to have to fight battles all the time. So we all have a set of core beliefs about people, about religion, about health, about all sorts of different things. We have those core beliefs. The cognitive dissonance happens when something bumps up against one of those beliefs and you're like, oh, wait, that doesn't fit into this little scenario that I have. And so that uncomfortable feeling is our brain just trying to get back into balance. And it's trying to tell us, okay, something's not right. We've got a puzzle to solve here. And so it's a normal process. Honestly, we do it all day long. We just don't realize we're doing it. But I think what's bothering people right now is there's a lot of big stuff that people are having some of this kind of cognitive distortion about. So I think it's more apparent to them now, and it's causing more emotional ups and downs. I don't want to necessarily call it trauma. For some people, it has been trauma, actual trauma for them. People's beliefs are getting challenged all over the place. Some of it is simply, I think the biggest one is a belief of how life was supposed to be. And I don't think any of us in our wildest dreams, I think most people are very realistic in saying, life's not easy. We're going to have bumps in the road. I'm not sure anybody saw this coming. I know I didn't. If somebody else did, I'm impressed because this is one that was always a theoretical. And so I think, we're all kind of settled in now and we're getting used to a lot of it as far as staying at home and social distancing. And we're getting used to some of that. And our brain's kind of settling in and being like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. A lot of times what happens is the information we're taking in doesn't seem logical for our belief system or for our experience even. So our brain is working to solve that puzzle constantly because our brain just wants to rest. Of course, I got a phone call. It doesn't want to constantly be working to try and solve something. So I thought I'd give a couple of my favorite tips to help. I'll be honest, my number one is praying for wisdom from God. And then, because I'm a little bit stubborn, I also pray for being able to accept what he shows me too. I don't tend to be the best at that. Working on it. I'm a work in progress. The other one is to talk to someone you trust. I don't care who that is, whether it's a friend, your partner, it could be someone at church, it could be anybody that you feel comfortable with. But the key is that you have to trust them to speak truth to you in love and to maybe point out some thinking errors that are going on that they see that maybe you don't see. Because we get so caught up in our own way of thinking that we don't necessarily see that there's an error in it. Human nature, that's just how we function that way. And so having somebody that you trust enough to say that to you can sometimes help put those puzzle pieces together. And anyone who knows me knows I'm going to beat this one to death. Journal. Because our brain, as we're writing all that out, it's figuring things out. It's just like talking to another person. but you don't have a filter on it. Even if you are talking to the person you trust most in the world, you're still going to filter some of what you say. Ideally, in a journal, you shouldn't do that. You're just working through honest, sometimes raw feelings. And so I'm a huge fan of journaling. And most of all, like, know that you're not alone. Know that everybody goes through this every day. We're all going through it a little bit more right now, but we all go through it every day, and we make it out to the other side just fine. Our brains figure it out. God designed our brains in an amazingly beautiful way. Like, they can do amazing things if we just let them. And so my advice is just kind of ride the tide of emotions and let your brain do the work it's supposed to, and put some things in there that helps your brain out and helps it rest once in a while. So I hope everybody's doing well. It was a beautiful day here, like 65 and sunny. Perfect weather. So hopefully we can have some of that this weekend and I can get out in the yard and actually do some work. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great week.